You are doing enlightenment wrong. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is the way you approach enlightenment, presence, Eckhart Tolle, meditation. The way you approach all of these teachings is wrong. Why is it wrong? When you approach these teachings and you do it from a place of wanting to complete yourself, wanting to heal yourself, wanting to run away from yourself, you're taking the wrong approach. Neglecting how you feel is the exact reason why you feel so shitty. The reason why you feel so shitty is because you've spent decades of your life neglecting how you feel. You spent decades of your life training your body to ignore certain sensations, to ignore your feelings, your emotions, to reject yourself, to reject a part of yourself. As a human, we feel a full spectrum of emotions. We feel happiness, sadness. We feel anger, fear, delight. I don't even know what that feels like. I think I do. My point is that you feel a full spectrum of emotions as a human. And what everyone is trying to do, especially people that are trying to be enlightened and trying to lose their ego, what they're trying to do is they want to feel good all the time. They're chasing the good emotions. They're running from the bad ones. They think if they chase enlightenment, if they meditate enough, if they watch their little voice in their head, if they just keep watching it, eventually they're going to feel good all the time, somehow. I remember I used to do that. When I first started on my journey, the whole goal was to get away from feeling shitty. You know? I hated my life and I didn't want to feel shitty anymore. And so I decided, hey, you got all these shitty emotions? What's the best thing to do? Suppress them. So you suppress them with eating shitty food, with playing video games, with whacking off, and you suppress them with seeking enlightenment, seeking eternal bliss, being blissed out just like Eckhart Tolle. But what you're not realizing is these teachers, they're teaching from a certain paradigm. And if your brain isn't hardwired to think a certain way, you're not going to resonate with what they're saying. For instance, I can say something like in this video and it can be perceived a million different ways. In this video this video right here I'm making, by some people it'll be perceived a certain way. By another group of people it'll be perceived another way. By another group of people it'll be perceived another way, and so on. The way they perceive it is based on their paradigm and the way their brain is wired. The same thing goes for the teachings of Eckhart Tolle and Ram Dass, or whatever that guy's name. All those people that people are following. The same goes for those people. They're saying things at a certain paradigm and in a certain way, but people perceive it in a bunch of different ways. And if they're used to chasing happiness, then that's how they're going to hear it. They're going to go, wow, enlightenment. I sit here for 20 minutes a day. I watch my thoughts. And eventually I'll feel really good. And I won't have to feel all this pain anymore. Just like with masturbation and with eating and with sex and video games. It's just another one of those things, right? Wrong. That's not correct. I would say that's not correct. In a certain paradigm, it's correct. But in the paradigm you want to be in, that's not how things are. What you want to do is to start with the shitty feelings. Embrace those shitty feelings. Love those shitty feelings. You start with the feelings. Some of you may be watching this and you're like, how do I start with the feelings? I don't know what you're talking about. And that's because you are not adjusted to feeling your body and how it feels. You're not adjusted to how your body feels. You're disconnected with it. Most people are somewhat disconnected with it. Or they don't realize that it has a direct correlation with their quality of life. So a lot of people are disconnected with how they feel. And they have no idea that it's directly correlated to their life experience. So the sensations inside of me right now, a little bit of tension in my face, a little bit of bliss in my tummy. It's kind of going up to my throat, and then there's a little bit of tension right here. Those sensations do not define me. And your emotions do not define you. So the first step, I would say, is to uncouple your emotions with you. There is your emotions, and then there's something viewing and feeling your emotions. That thing that's viewing and feeling them is you. But happiness, sadness, none of that is you. That's not you. Those are just feelings. They come and they go. You don't run away from them. You'll always feel them. So, if that's the case, and you can't be enlightened in like Eckhart Tolle or whatever, what do? You give up? Do you go back to eating munchies? No. I'll tell you what you do. The first thing you do, and the most important thing you do, is change your relationship to the sensations. I'll say it again. Change your relationship to how you feel. So let me ask you this. If for the rest of your life you felt really shitty, what would you say to that? What's your reaction to that? If for the rest of your waking life on Earth, let's say 40 years, 60 years, you feel really shitty, like you hate how you, like your feelings are awful. It's just like tension, and it's like this hell. What's your reaction? If your reaction is distasteful, that's because you're identified with how you feel. At least a little bit. If I said for a week you're going to feel shitty, your version of shitty, for a week you're going to feel that. Non-stop. What's your reaction to that? You want your reaction to be neutral. You want your reaction to be, hey, it's okay. I'm a human. I feel bad sometimes. I feel good sometimes. Life's fucking good, man. If you don't have that reaction, that's why you're not enlightened like Eckhart Tolle. Because enlightenment is not something you reach. It's something you already are. And I will argue that everyone is enlightened. And here's the key that no one gets. It's uncoupled with your emotions. Okay? So you're not going to feel good. You're not going to feel bad. You're just going to feel. Do you see the difference? You're not going to feel good and you're not going to feel bad. You're going to feel. That's the difference. And that's the difference that no one explains. No one seems to, like, for whatever reason, people don't seem to, like, explain that well. I think the people that are enlightened, in terms of, like, Eckhart Tolle and people like that, I think they feel so good all the time. And I think the way they reached it may have been unusual. But I think sorry, I just got a notification on my phone. Distracted me. I think the result is the same. So if you want to be enlightened, learn to love how you feel, not based on how you feel. Learn to uncouple your feelings with you. Stop watching your thoughts. If you felt okay with yourself and you were okay with how you felt and you loved yourself and you accepted yourself, would you give a shit about your thoughts? Would you give a shit about presence? Who gives a shit about presence if you love yourself? Like, why does it matter? You will naturally, what will happen is you'll end up becoming more present. Naturally. And it won't be from sitting 20 minutes a day of meditation. It won't be from that. It'll be on its own. For instance, you'll be in a conversation, you'll be taking the trash out, you'll be at the gym, you'll be doing something, and you will notice you'll be able to hear things, and you will smell things differently, and you'll see things with more color and vibrance, and you'll be very keenly aware of your body. Those things will start to happen on their own, and it will have nothing to do with like meditation and like I was watching my thoughts and then all of a sudden I went into this vortex and now I'm in a side of a wormhole, and like none of that shit's like, it could happen, but like chasing that is ridiculous, especially from a paradigm of scarcity and a paradigm of doing and a paradigm of rejecting how you feel. Good fucking luck with that. I would not roll the dice with that. I would learn to just accept how I feel. It's a very big difference. And how do you accept how you feel? Oh, it's so hard. No. It's deceivingly simple. It's deceivingly simple. I accept how I feel right now. Do I feel good? I feel okay. But I accept it. And it doesn't have to do with feeling good. That's the point. You gotta uncouple how you feel with your emotions. I mean, you know what I'm saying. You gotta uncouple yourself with your emotions. So it's just a video about enlightenment and what people think enlightenment is. They want to be happy all the time. They don't want to feel bad. They want to reach this state. They want to be. It's kind of a narcissist trap. They want to be the ultimate enlightened being, and they end up being either a little bit happier or a little less happy, and that's about it. They don't really get anywhere. Learn to accept how you feel. Learn to uncouple how you feel with you, and you'll see some actual results. So I hope this video helps, and keep feeling. That's gonna be my slogan at the end of my videos. Keep feeling, folks. I think that's a good one. Alright, I'm done.